In the 33rd episode of Kuma, the emotional complexity and psychological intricacies of the characters truly come to the forefront. This episode doesn't just focus on the plot, but rather the inner turmoil of the individuals caught within a whirlwind of desires, regrets, and shifting loyalties. By this point, the tension is almost unbearable. Each character is walking a tightrope between their own needs and the impact their decisions will have on those around them. The show has consistently excelled at exploring power dynamics, but here it takes a deeper dive into the internal struggles that accompany power. These characters are far from perfect, often faced with making decisions that challenge their own sense of morality and self-worth. They are no longer just grappling with external conflicts but with the darkness within themselves. It's a reminder that the most gripping stories aren't about simple good versus evil, but rather the gray areas where human beings live and breathe. And in this episode, that gray area becomes the battleground. What makes this episode so effective is how it takes these psychological battles and makes them feel both universal and deeply personal. At the heart of each character is a yearning for something, whether it's acceptance, redemption, or the courage to finally break free from the past. These internal desires play out in their interactions with others, and in turn, every scene becomes layered with unspoken tension and unresolved emotions. The rawness of this episode lies not just in the characters' actions but in their silences. Each pause in conversation, each lingering look, feels like it's weighted with everything they can't, or won't, say aloud. It's a delicate dance between revealing too much and not revealing enough, and the result is often devastating. You can't help but feel the weight of every moment as it builds up, silently pushing each character closer to a breaking point. One of the most powerful aspects of this episode is its portrayal of vulnerability. These characters, who have often seemed indestructible or untouchable, are now laid bare in ways that make them feel more real and more fragile. The walls they've built up to protect themselves crumble just enough for us to see the raw human beings beneath them. There's something intensely relatable about these moments of weakness, of doubt, and the struggle to regain control over one's own life and destiny. The sense of powerlessness is pervasive throughout the episode, as characters are constantly at odds with forces beyond their control. This not only creates external tension but also highlights the internal chaos each one is experiencing. When people are confronted with their own limitations, the way they react tells you everything about their core, and this episode explores that reaction in a way that is both heart-wrenching and insightful. The stakes are higher than ever before, and the emotional consequences of every decision are amplified. Relationships are tested, alliances shift, and loyalties are questioned. The characters, once certain of where they stood, now find themselves questioning their own motives, and the motivations of those around them. Who can they trust when trust is such a fragile thing? As the episode unfolds, you begin to realize that it's not just the plot that holds your attention, it's the emotional journey. This episode leaves you grappling with questions that refuse to be answered easily. By the end, you're left hanging, heart in your throat, yearning for resolution but knowing the story isn't ready to give it to you just yet. It's a brilliant mixture of tension, vulnerability, and the messy realities of human nature that keeps you coming back for more.